Hey, we're Saints. Father Chris here. Welcome to our Crucifixion live stream. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. I want to talk about raging, anger, bloodthirstiness. You know, like we've been pounding the Olympics. It's been, look, this Parisian Olympics, there's been many, many good things, but it has also given us as warrior saint instructors a plethora, a wealth of introductory material because there's a lot of chaos. The newest one, that maybe not the newest, but one of the newer ones is Lee Diffie. All right, so he's a broadcaster, and he is therefore paid money by NBC to broadcast and report on the events, one of which was the men's 100-meter dash. And in this 100-meter dash, it was it was an awesome race between the United States, Noah Lyles, and there was a bunch of runners, obviously, and the other was Jamaica's Kishane Thompson, right? And the finish came down to literally a photo finish. And here's the backstory. Lee Diffie said he called it. He's the announcer. He called it. He said, I think Kishane Thompson won. Because in his purview, the way he saw it, it looked like the guy won. The photo finish came out and showed that indeed Noah Lyles of the United States won the gold. Listen to this. By 5/100ths of a second. So that means he won by 0.005, right? So it's not 1 second. It's not a half a second. It's not 15ths of a second, 50th of a second. It's 5/100ths of a second. What do you blame the dude for not being able to see that on the screen? And many other commentators and other people thought he also won, he being Kishane Thompson from Jamaica. So they had to go to the photo finish and they found that the American's chest crossed 5/100ths of a second. Like, how can you imagine the human brain, the human eye could catch that? Yet, Lee Diffie had to go out and apologize and retract because he shouldn't have made that call. Listen to what he wrote on his Twitter account because there was so much backlash. It says this. This is his X feed the next day or 2 days later. The men's 100 was epic and closest of all time. My eyes and instinct told me Kishane Thompson won. Obviously, that wasn't the case. I shouldn't have been so bold to call it, but I genuinely thought he won. I got it wrong. Wait a minute. Are we so bloodthirsty for anger and outrage that he had to retract? Like, could he not have just said, Kishane Thompson won? I mean, we're going to go to the judges to make sure. Oh my gosh, the photo finish shows that Noah Lyles actually won. Holy crazy, I got it wrong. Oh my gosh, good for Noah Lyles. And move on. Like, why does there have to be a Twitter retraction? What's happening? I think what's happening is that we have been accustomed, trained, programmed to be ready and hungry and, I love this word, bloodthirsty for outrage and anger. I'm going to read you some scripture. One from the book of Psalms, chapter 38. Listen to this. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself, it tends only to evil, right? Refrain from anger and don't fret yourself. The word here, fret, in Hebrew, titar, means to become aglow, to become on fire with, right? Because he says it only leads to evil, right? So what are we doing when we participate in this outrage culture that everyone's pushing on us and all of the stuff that we see and hear and absorb? We are really putting ourselves in position, in line to be tending towards evil, right? That's not me. I didn't write the book of Psalms. That must have been David or somebody that wrote it better than I, right? Listen to Ecclesiastes. And here in chapter 7, listen, it's beautiful. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the hearts of fools, right? Now, listen, Ecclesiastes is from wisdom literature. And what that means is that it's a battle, the wisdom literature, between folly, foolishness, and Sophia, wisdom, right? So the opposite of wisdom is folly, foolishness. And the word in the Septuagint Greek, as well as the New Testament Greek for this folly, is moria, like where you and I in English get moronic, right? And the challenge is that in the wisdom literature, folly, the opposite of wisdom, leads not to even just shame. Its ultimate outcome is death, right? That's the whole point of folly. The wisdom leads to life, and therefore its opposite, its counterpart, leads to death. And so what the wisdom writer in Ecclesiastes is saying, again, hear it, Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the hearts of fools, of those who are foolish, moria, who are tending towards death. I mean, it's pretty clear in Scripture. I got a million other verses here. I just picked those two. It's clear that this anger that we are all being sucked into, this outrage that we're being programmed into, is really it's unto death, really. I mean, both probably literally and figuratively, right? Like, I mean, I'm not being trite about that stuff. It's destructive. It's unto our not good, right? It's unto peril, perdition, whatever you want to say. So how do we figure this out? Because look, I know, like you, that I often go through my feeds and my threads and just learning about the things of life and in the world, and I get angry and I feel outraged, and I'm like, why is this stuff all triggering this outrage in me? I mean, it doesn't even really matter in the end. I mean, most of it, even if the American or the Jamaican won the 100-meter dash, like, okay, our country got a medal, his didn't, vice versa, or we got first and he got second, or vice versa. In the end, what's the big deal, right? For those two individual men, it's a big deal. But for you and I, why do we have to be so outraged about it? Like, we might have wanted our country to win, we didn't, okay, bummer, move on, right? But it's that programming to keep us bloodthirsty for that outrage that we've got to overcome. And so the question is, how do we do it? And really, you know, the models, the tools, the mechanisms, mannerisms, the approach, whatever you want to say, that we've been doing to overcome this anger, is really not even an attempt to overcome it, but to engage it and embrace it. And that really hasn't worked out because, like, I don't have the data in front of me, but I know that we are a much more, and scientifically, statistically, a much more angry and aggressive society than we have been in years gone by, right? Because we're being taught it, we're being fed it. And I thought, well, like, shoot, the stuff that the world has been telling us, it don't work, baby. It's making us angrier. So what do we do? How do we figure this out? And it dawned on me at one point, I'm like, look, I've got to realize that if I'm getting so upset and angry about all this stuff, it's because I've not really focused on what my purpose is, right? Father Chris has a very specific purpose. What is that purpose? What is, the purpose, the reason, the why of my existence? And so once I started to reflect on what my purpose was, which I think is to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, to preach the crucifixional life to all of our warrior saints. Once I started to get focused on that again, I found a couple of things happen. And first is that I didn't care so much about this poor guy, Lee Diffie, who had to make a retraction. I just realized it was 5/100ths of a second, and anyone and everyone was bound to make a mistake. And so what's the big deal? Move on. I didn't care about it anymore. I didn't need him to apologize for senselessness. The other part of it was I started to get hungry and excited about coming here every day and the opportunity that I have to teach and to be with Greg and to be with our team and to be with you guys and to study and read and to learn and to grow. And like all of a sudden I'm like, holy cow, me is a different person. And I would like to say, hopefully by God's grace, a better person, right? And so that opportunity, by focusing on what my purpose is, it gave me new life, right? It really did give me new life. And I thought, like, well, you better share that with people, right? You better share that. So what we decided to do was to put together a summit, like our own one-day seminar we called Forget Your Passion, Find Your Purpose. And it is exactly what what you hear. Like, everybody's talking about passion, what I'm passionate about. Oh my gosh, I'm passionate. Well, okay, nice, but what's your purpose? Probably more important. And so Greg and I put together this, I think, awesome seminar. And we put it out there, and thank God we recorded it. It was just for our local team here, which, was a blast. But thank God, because they loved it. We're humbled by it. They loved it. And we're like, oh, we recorded this. We better, beautiful editing. What do you call it? Like, it's just a recording of the summit, him teaching and me teaching. It is what it is. It's actually, forgive me, beautiful people, I don't want to sound arrogant about it, but like, it's pretty awesome. This whole thing about purpose. And it'll hopefully, we can get it into your hands. It's yours. You just have to, like, somewhere you'll see the link tree. You'll see that our thing. Click on there and you'll see how to get the Forget Your Passion, Find Your Purpose. It's one of those things on Linktree. It's great. Just sign up. It's yours. It'll come right into your email inbox. I don't even know how it all works. It's magic as far as I'm concerned, but it just dumps right into your box. And then you better watch that stuff, because I think, and I'm going to wrap up here today because I've been long, but if you could really get focused on your purpose, like, what is God wanting from you? Why are you here? I don't care what you want to do or how you want to do it. Those are secondary and tertiary. But first and foremost, what's your why? What's your purpose? Because once you know that, then you can get after your hows and your whats. And number two, what's kind of what we're going with today, is you get focused on it, you care less about silly stuff. You care less about getting angry and being outraged all the time. It's quite simply because you ain't got no time for it. But when you do that and you get after your purpose, you are going to find yourself to be a different person, really a different man, a different woman with clearer directives, clearer goals, clearer, all of it. All right, he's giving me dirty looks because I've talked a lot today. How long is this so far?
10 minutes.
Oh, it's only 10 minutes. I could go 10 more. You want me to go 10 more?
If you want more, get the free content in the link tree.
I'm not going to go anymore because I love you. I will free you from the shackles of my talking. But check out that link tree. Get the find your forget your passion, find your purpose. Forget your passion, find your purpose. Get it. Check it out. It's there. It's free. It's yours. Just watch it. We want you to see it. We love you. I will now stop. We will, however, be back tomorrow where I will probably rant at you some more. Love you. Have a great day. And as always, what? Keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.